Hey guys, welcome back to part 4 of the LP. In the last part, we went to Gateon Port. We dealt with the Thug Zook. He almost wanted to kill Jovi. We got a moon shard for our Eevee, which we all know from the last part will make our Eevee evolve into an Umbreon when its friendship is good enough and it levels up. We got the parts needed for the Purify Chamber, which is good, and then Lily sends us off to Agate Village to purify our Teddisura with the help of Egon, which we will find about him in this part. Okay, a lush green town of senior residents. There's a relic honoring Selby here. Selby is one of my favorite legendaries, well, next to Suicune. Suicune is just awesome. I love this little village because it's what I would always imagine a real city in the real world if we had Pokemon to look like. We found a Pokeball, yay. Okay, and there's actually the Pokemart. It's where you can buy your general stuff and something that you'll find about later. And if you play Pokemon Coliseum, you know that's his house, Egon. Hello, what a darling trainer you are. I'm Bula. Did you want something of me? Oh, Egon, you say. Ah, so you've come calling to see my husband. Are you perhaps XD? Of course we are. It's just as I thought. You are XD. We've been expecting you. We got word about you from Millie, you see. We understand that you want to purify shadow Pokemon. The instant my husband heard from Millie, why, you should have seen his excitement as he asked him. Shouting, this calls for my services, or some such. He went off running to who knows where. He hasn't come back since. There he is, right there, Egon. Bula dear, I've got everything ready. We're ready for our visitor from the HQ lab whenever he arrives. Oh! Oh, hello dear. Our guest XD has just arrived. Oh, so you're XD. We've been waiting. I'm Egon. I've heard everything that Lily had to say. As you know, to purify a shadow Pokemon must open its heart to the trainer. While there are several approaches, battles are the best, no doubt at all. The place to do that here is in the Relic Forest, which is home to the Relic Stone. I will go ahead and wait for you there. So basically, you're going to go through a series of battles, 5 trainers, and by the time you get to Egon, it's really supposed to be purified. My husband's so impatient, as you've just seen. In this day, he was hailed as the greatest trainer, but that was a long time ago. So as I was saying, you're going to go through a series of battles because battles is the most effective way to get the heart gauge down. I will explain a little bit more about the heart gauge right now. Okay, so we're just going to take a look at Teddisura. See, the door to its heart is starting to open. So, as you walk around more and you start the battle, the heart gauge will start to go down and the description will change, of course. Walking helps a little bit, but not all that much. Battles are really the most effective way. Because it goes down a little bit when it first enters in battle, and then it can go into hyper mode, which I'll explain later. Ah, you must be the XD that Egon was talking about. I've heard that you battle to open hearts of shadow Pokemon. The relic is through this cave. Don't give up. So yeah, the relic stone is at the end, and basically it's what purifies the shadow Pokemon once it's ready to open its heart to the trainer. Alright, he's gonna let us through, and then we're off to battle. I'll help you purify your shadow Pokemon by having a battle with you. Are you ready to get started? Okay, now let's get with it. Creep. And of course, being at the beginning of the game, Pokemon are very low leveled. They're about 9, they're like 8 to 9 in levels, and then Egon's Pokemon is actually 12, which is the highest that these trainers go. And as you can see, Teddisura has attacks Shadow Mist, and Shadow Blitz. Shadow Blitz is kind of like your tackle move, if you will. And of course, Shadow Pokemon moves have a special type called Shadow. So they are super effective against any non-Shadow Pokemon, and as you would expect, it's not very effective against any Shadow Pokemon. So it really is what it is. A Shadow Pokemon is a fighting machine. They're really overpowered, of course, when battling against non-Shadow Pokemon. See, the heart gauge almost is on to the next bar, so that's good. And as a Shadow Pokemon goes down in the heart gauge, they actually start to learn some of the moves they would naturally have. Like Teddisura is going to learn, I think it's Metal Claw. He's going to learn next, and that's Hyper Mode. So Hyper Mode is basically like Confusion, or it's like a Pokemon that you receive in the trade, but you don't have the necessary gym badges, so they won't listen to you. So this is kind of what it is. If you do not call to your Shadow Pokemon, it will act like a confused Pokemon. It will hurt itself. Usually it's at the end of every turn it will hurt itself. Anyway, when it's in Hyper Mode, it will not listen to you. It might attack itself. It might attack your ally Pokemon. In this case, Eevee. It's unpredictable. So it's best to call it. So, and it also makes the heart gauge go down. So why wouldn't you call it? I'll tell you why you wouldn't. Because most trainers don't want to lose out on that move or anything. But it's best that you call it because it helps the Purify process go faster. Oh my gosh, look at that. Eevee's evolving. So, as we all know, Eevee is going to evolve into our lovely Umbreon. One of my favorite Dark-type Pokemon. And very beautiful. I really love Umbreon. He's like one of my favorite Eevee forms. Although Sylveon is really cute too. I do love Sylveon. I have a shiny one on Pokemon X, so yeah. To open up the closed heart of a Shadow Pokemon, entering the battles is effective. That's why you should make Shadow Pokemon battle whenever possible. Help your Shadow Pokemon gets purified soon. So yeah, battles help. XD, aren't you? I've heard about you from Agate. Let's battle right away. Here we go. And I think she has 2 Pokemon as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, wait, she has 3. She's a little tiny again, doesn't she? See, it just went down by a little, and yes, she has a little tad. So you all don't know, he learns like first. Okay, so as the Pokemon does go down the heart gauge, you do naturally learn the moves. And that's basically showing a sign that it's on its way to being purified. Although there are Shadow Pokemon at first that have like all Shadow moves, so you gotta purify it to get those moves. See, we have the little tad there. I believe Teddisura is going to learn Metal Claw next. If I'm not mistaken. And see, it's almost already done with the second bar, thanks to battles. And I apologize because by the time I battled Egon and everything, Teddisura is not ready to be purified yet. So you either go through, you can battle these trainers again, or you can do the other method, which will come up later and I'll talk about it then. So it does get boring at some point because I have to try to get Teddisura purified before I can advance. So I do, I think, 2 more battles after the 5 that I have. So I'm going to apologize for that because it's going to be boring a little bit, or it may not be boring for some of you. Who knows? Anyway, we won, of course. Wasn't that a good battle? I learned something from it too. Oh yes, you know how Shadow Pokemon sometimes begins behaving strangely in a battle? If that happens, calling out to that Shadow Pokemon is supposed to help. So basically what I told you before, when it becomes in hyper mode, you want to call out to it. Well, let this old woman come to aid a pitiful Pokemon. Are you ready to begin? I wonder how our battle will turn out. I'm eager to find out. Well, I can tell you that I'm going to beat you. So yeah, there's also a Pokebox over there. Or a Poke Chest, I think that's what they call it. So we're going to get that after we defeat her. And I think there's, burn heals in there? If I'm not mistaken. But anyway, like the last girl was saying, she was just kind of talking about the hyper mode. So yeah, you always want to call it out. And the neat thing about the Shadow Pokemon games, if your Pokemon falls asleep, you can also call out to it and it will wake it up. You don't have to use Awakening. Oh, I wish I remembered that last night because I bought Awakenings, but that's alright. You can always use them, I guess, or sell them, whatever. See? Shadow Blitz is very powerful because it almost KO'd that Caffeine out right there. I mean, Shadow Mist is like a special move, I guess. I kind of forget what it does exactly, but it lowers something of the enemies. That's all I really know. Ooh, it's raining outside. Sorry, got off topic. I was looking out my window. Umbreon is at level 12, and that's the highest that these Pokemon battles go, so that'd be nice. Red's a little... My, you're impressive. That Pokemon should open its heart to you. Oh yes, I should tell you this useful bit of information. I hear that if a Pokemon has a close heart, it's good to keep it with you. Rather than keep it in the PC storage system, you should keep it with you at all times. So yeah, we're gonna open this Poke Chest. Oh yeah, burn heals. That was right. But you really do not want to keep the Shadow Pokemon in the PC storage system. At times an ordinary old man, at others a plain senior citizen. But my true identity. The legendary trainer, Egon beat me, but only him, Unkron. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Now, for the sake of Shadow Pokemon, we shall have a hot battle. Bring it on. But, I forget what I was saying. He'll come back to me eventually. Oh, the PC storage system. So, you do not want to keep the Shadow Pokemon in the PC system because they just sit there. They don't progress. They don't do anything. So, it's best to keep all Shadow Pokemon in your party pretty much. As much as you can. Although that's not the most effective way to train your Pokemon, of course, but that's the best way to, and the most effective and quickest way to purify your Shadow Pokemon. You want to keep, I mean, even if they're not entering battle, they're progressing a little bit by walking around with you. So that, I mean, it's best to keep them in your party at all times. I mean, obviously you catch more Shadow Pokemon than you can purify, so, I mean, you have no choice sometimes but to have them sit in the PC storage. But the most effective way is not to have them in there, of course. Oh, we're almost down the Shadow. We're almost on the second bar in the gauge now. Exciting. Also, I apologize if you hear the rain because I know my mic picks up the slightest things. Like, it's really weird. When I was testing this out, when I first got it, of course, you know, I didn't know how to really work it as much. I was just testing it out, fooling around with it before I went and tried to attempt the LP. I could hear my boyfriend actually open up the front door in our living room, which is like a good, I mean, few hundred feet away. I mean, really. And it picked it up. Actually, him. Well, I'll just let you read that. I'll continue. It actually picked up him closing and opening the door. It was insane. I was like, wow, this mic is amazing. Which it is. If you are ever considering buying a microphone, the Blue Yeti is the way to go. It is beautiful. Oh, he's talking about the cologne scent. So, this is the other method that you can use to purify your Shadow Pokemon. It's basically like a cologne and you rub it on your Shadow Pokemon, and I guess it kind of delights it in a way and makes it not as mean, I guess. I don't know. XD, welcome. I mean, once we get in the battle, I'll explain more about it. Your shadow Pokemon should be ready to open its heart after the battles you've waged getting here. Well, it's not. Now I shall be your opponent. And here's my partner, the one Pokemon I caught as my first, and that stayed me ever since. Which is my favorite Pokemon, of course. Go Pikachu. Off we go to our first battle in 5 years. Let's keep things tight. I'm not even gonna comment because that's wrong. But anyway, you rub the scent on your shadow Pokemon. It delights it, and it makes the gauge go down. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is, yes, it's the cheap way to go, and well, not really, not cheap, but the easy way out. But it is kind of expensive. If you want to buy the most expensive one, I think it's like 1,200 or something like that, and you can get that from any Pokemart. So yeah, Egon has his level 12 Pikachu. You would think after having this Pikachu for like ever, like Ash did in the anime, that it would be like level 50. No, not really. He's level 12. It's stupid, but you know, it happens. So yeah, of course we KO'd that Pikachu in a cinch. And stupid static, we paralyzed both of our Pokemon there. Oh, bravo, I say, bravo. Yeah, we got quite a bit of money for that battle. My goodness, it was a high experience, our battle. And to defeat my Pikachu, that takes pure skill. Hello, your Pikachu is level 12. Pika Pika! Now, let's see how your shadow Pokemon is doing. This Pokemon isn't quite ready to open its heart to you. You should travel some more with it, or perhaps give it cologne massages after it's been exposed to some more of your kindness, bringing it here. Of course, if you would rather battle, my 4 friends are waiting like before. They're ready to do battle as often as you wish. So yeah, since Teddisura is not all the way ready to be purified, I think 2 more battles, and I do set up the cologne massages. I figured that would be effective, and I would like to show to you guys how exactly that works, because I know there are people who watch this that do not know anything about Shadow Pokemon, so I figured it would be best to show that. And of course I'm going to the Pokemon Center because I got paralyzed from the last battle. And then next, I think I go to the Pokemart and buy some of the cologne massages. I believe, anyway. Of course, our Pokemon are restored, which is good. Creepy ass trainer walking to me. Let us see. I believe I start off by buying the least expensive ones first, and then I get a little annoyed that doesn't go as far, and then I buy the more expensive ones to try to progress it farther. See, you got everything you need right there, and then there's these sets, which I buy. Yep, I did buy 3. No, I bought more. Bought 5, and see, it could be kind of expensive, so that's the only thing I don't like about it. It could be very pricey, but if you're in a hurry to purify that shadow Pokemon, you're gonna do it, I guess. Alright. You get that cologne case that the old man gave you. And you click it on like so, and Teddisura has an item since it says pickup. So I'm gonna take that out pretty soon, probably. And see, Teddisura was delighted. It opened just a little bit. It sucks, but I used them all. But I really didn't get that far, so I got a little frustrated, and I believe I bought more of the expensive ones. And I believe I do show you the progress as we go. Just to show you kind of what the scents do ultimately to the heart gauge. And I do believe Teddisura is holding antidote. And when you actually use these massages on the Pokemon, they actually, they cry out. It's a little weird, but I guess it feels good to them. I don't know. And usually you'll get like a really intensified vibration on your controller, but I didn't. I don't know if I don't have the vibration on or what's going on with that, but usually it's a really powerful vibration with the controller. And did I use my last one up? And I do believe we check how he's going. Yeah? I think so. See, he's holding the antidote. And see, it really didn't help all that much. See, we're only just... we're down one more bar, so I guess that's good. But of course, I get a little frustrated because I don't want to use all of my money on the cents. But if I'm in a hurry, of course, that's what you're going to do. So I buy the next one up, and I only buy 3 of these. And see, it came up to like 2,400, which is kind of pricey. And so, in the beginning of the game, because you don't get all that much money. Yet. Of course, if you want to get that purification done, you're going to buy the Joy. No. What's the next one up? Joy is the least one. I can't remember now, but it'll come up. I don't believe... Oh, Vivid. That's right. I don't think I bought a Vivid one because that's really expensive. I think I went and just bought the Excite, if I'm not mistaken. Because I didn't want to blow all my money, which I pretty much did anyway. And I still had to go through some battles. I think I did 2. We have one more of those, and I do believe I show you the progress as I use them. Just to kind of show how they work and what they do. I love how they cry. It's pretty awesome. It's like hearing the cry in the Pokedex, pretty much. See, we're kind of getting lower. I mean, it's 2,699, so... And I do kind of stock up on the average stuff. Because you never know what's going to happen. And, oh, we're on the last one, so that's good. That's very good. I don't know why I kept doing that. Oh, spoiler alert. I learned how to do live commentary, finally, so I'm going to do that in the future videos. Sorry I couldn't do it for this one. I finally figured it out though, so I'm happy about that. Because I really hated having to do voiceovers afterwards, because I rather would do live commentary. I think it'd be more effective and I wouldn't run out of time when I'm speaking things and reading the dialogue and stuff like that. And anyway, I'm doing more battles, so just to get it down more. And then I can't remember if I do battles to get it all the way down. Oh, no, I don't. No, I will go to the Pokemon to get one last cent when it's getting really close. And I guess while I'm doing these battles, I'm going to talk to you guys about the Pokemon group that I always leave the link to in the description. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So, the basic story is, if you guys are on Facebook and you know the Pokemon Center, that's where I met my first admin. Actually, it was when InstaCheck was around. If you don't know what that is, it was a program that could check the shiny value of your eggs if you were trying to hatch shiny Pokemon. And my admin, who I met in the Pokemon Center, had this program. So he offered to check my eggs for me. And he did. And then I messaged him later on. And I'm like, you know what? It'd be interesting if there was a group just for this. Just for checking eggs. Just for shiny hatching. Just for shiny trading. And him and I were talking more about it in depth. And he's like, oh, I can never do it by myself. And I'm like, well, what if we do it together? I'll make the group, you co-admin, and we'll go from there. And so we agreed upon it. I made the group, which is which was called Shiny Value Hunting at first, because eventually Insta-Check got patched. So we changed it to Shiny Hunting because when Insta-Check got patched, it couldn't be used anymore. And I was very sad about that. And so anyway, my co-admin and I started the group, and I figured, well, you know what, it's not going to get any more than 100 maybe. I doubt it's going to get that very successful. I doubt that we're going to have that many admins. I doubt that it's going to get that popular. But much to my surprise, we're at like almost 1,300 now. I mean, it blew my mind. I never imagined that my group would get that many members. But I'm glad. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, I was surprised. And over the course, of course, as we got more members and more problems started happening, you know, trolls, bantering, bartering, I mean. Trying to think. We originally started out with just 4 admins, and then, of course, we added on. We actually did an official admin application hiring thing. We also did graphic designers because I wanted our group to be good, I mean, with art and make it look presentable and make people want to join it, because usually when I see awesome art on Facebook groups, that makes me want to join. So I always wanted to have awesome art. So we did do that. Actually, one of our youngest admin is one of our graphic designers as well. He's very good at what he does. He actually made me some art for the LP to promote it, so I'm really excited about that. Just needs to get colored and it will be on the channel, so I'm excited about that. But anyway, our group is called Shiny Hunting because I changed the name because since Insta-Check was gone and couldn't be used, we couldn't check eggs, and it just kind of threw off the name. And I do believe we have, I'm going to count here. Let's see, we have myself, Thomas, Lewis, Billy, which is our asshole of the group. I know you're going to be watching this. And Dakota, Melody, which we call Flannery as a joke, Sam, Antonio, of course. He is one of our busiest, most helpful admins around, of course. And I feel like I might be no, wait, 8? That sounds about right. I think I got you guys all. I do believe that's everyone. Just making sure. Yeah, I do believe that is everyone. So, I mean, I never expected that we would have that many admins, that we would need that many admins, I mean. Because I never expected it to go over maybe 100. Oh god, was I surprised when we got to 500 and 1,000 and all that stuff. It was great. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the link, and it's a fun time, and we always post stuff, so come join. I mean, really, help us expand. I mean, I always leave in the description. See, our Teddisura is getting there, so I think I go back to the Pokemart and get some more signs to get it all the way down. I believe I buy a couple more Joy ones because I really don't have all that much money anymore. Since I pretty much blew it on these scents in the first place. Oh man, you in my way? Yep, so we're back, and we're gonna buy the Joy ones, right? Yep. No, I lied. I buy the Excite. And it gets it almost all the way down. So it's not too bad. Alright, I think we're gonna check here. Oh, dude, we're like almost there. Almost. So I think I buy one more joy because I think that's about as much as we need to get down. See? I got totally wiped out. But that's okay. I have more battles coming up ahead. So I'll get more money. And I'm excited because I love the purification ceremony. It's pretty sweet. And in a couple seconds, see, that symbol means that your Pokemon, or some Pokemon in your party, can be purified. It'll usually tell you which one. So, now we're going back to the Relic Forest, where Egon is, like, in the bag, where the Relic Stone is. And then the Relic Stone is actually going to light up in a light green, and I believe that's actually Celebi's power. I mean, I'm not really sure, but that's what I would think. Sorry about that. My voice is getting a little scratchy. Alright. This Pokemon is on the verge of opening its heart to you. You've done a good job looking after it. Of course I have. Now you should use the power of the Relic Stone to finally open that Shadow Pokemon's heart completely. They step aside, of course. See? It lights up green. It's awesome. Looks like... Ugh, it's awesome. There's a Pokemon that may open the door to its heart. And of course, that's going to be our Teddisura. Oh, here it comes. It's awesome. I love that part. And so, when you purify a Shadow Pokemon this way, anyway, I don't remember how the Purify Chamber works, really. Oh, actually, when you use the Purify Chamber, you can purify it right in the Purify Chamber, so that's kind of cool. I can't wait to show that to you guys. Anyway, Teddisura will learn the naturally learned moves. He gets Return and Refresh. And those Shadow Pokemon moves get forgotten, I guess you could say. I mean, that's what happens to every Shadow Pokemon, which kind of sucks because they're powerful moves, but if you want to advance in the game, you gotta purify these Pokemon. So, anyway, every time a Shadow Pokemon is purified, they get a ribbon, they learn some moves, they get experience points, which is always nice. So, it's up to par with Umbreon, which is really nice. And I also got rid of Refresh and just give it Furry Swipes. I mean, I'm going to get rid of Furry Swipes later anyway. So, and also, I'm going to give a nickname to my Teddisura. And my controller was malfunctioning, so... Yeah, then it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. See, I'm going to name it Sugar. I usually don't nickname my Pokemon because it's a lot of work just to name them all, but I think I'm going to try to name all the Shadow Pokemon a name, just for fun. And there you have it. Well done. That Pokemon has finally returned to its former self. For the time being, we should return to my house. So anyway, they go to celebrate. Woo! Party! Not really. This is a cause for celebration. You successfully purified your first Shadow Pokemon incident. Still, one can't be too happy. Not with the knowledge of Professor Crane's abduction. You see, he was a frequent visitor to Agate up to several years ago. He was conducting extensive research into the Relic Stone, you see. He said that it was for completing an entirely new purifying system that his friend thought up. I wonder where the kidnappers have made off with Professor Crane. It must be worrisome for you too. About the abduction, dear, didn't you need to mention what Vander saw? Ah, yes, that's right. I need to tell you about Vander. We have a friend by the name of Vander who lives on Mountain Battle, which is a place of training for trainers. Vander claims to have seen sinister characters out in the desert where few people dare to tread. Sounds intriguing, yes? Mountain Battle is to the northeast. Be sure to visit. So yeah, of course, in the next part, we're going to visit Mountain Battle, battle some trainers, get experience up, and we're going to see what Vander has to tell us about Professor Crane's abduction. Thank you for joining me in this part, guys. I hope it was a little bit better for you. See you guys, and look at the credits.